The Karnataka High Court has refused to transfer the Muda case investigation to the Central Bureau of Investigation, bringing relief to the Chief Minister Siddaramaiah. The court, in fact, has stated that the material on record does not indicate that the investigation conducted by Lokayukta is partisan or biased, and therefore there is no need to refer the matter to the Central Bureau of Investigation. So a big relief for the Karnataka Chief Minister. The Karnataka's High Court has refused a CBI inquiry in this particular case, saying that there will be no CBI inquiry in the Muda land scam case. And my colleague Veera Raghav joins us to get us more on this. Veera, what does it mean for the Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah now?
I think the most important aspect is what you just read out, which is the observation of the court as part of its judgment dismissing that petition seeking the transfer of the probe to the CBI. The court, and as I just mentioned, I'm just reiterating, said that the material on record does not indicate that investigation conducted by Lokayukta is partisan or shoddy for this court to refer the matter to CBI for further investigation. Osama, the basis for the petition was that the Lokayukta was under the influence of the state government and hence would not be able to conduct an impartial probe into a person no less than the Chief Minister himself, against whom the allegations have been made. The grounds for the petition was that because it cannot conduct a Lokayukta impartial probe in Karnataka, the case ought to be shifted to the CBI, which is when the court had sought for a status report as well from the Lokayukta in terms of what it had done so far in the investigations. And in the wisdom of the court, with the knowledge of the investigation, the court categorically saying that there is no basis for questioning the impartiality or the ability of the Lokayukta in Karnataka to conduct this probe. That's the legal aspect of it. So it is pretty much a judgment endorsing faith in that Lokayukta probe into the Muda scam. Politically, it's a huge relief for the Chief Minister, as you pointed out, primarily because shifting of the case to the CBI would have meant two things. One is that the High Court of Karnataka was not convinced by the Lokayukta's probe and that there was no influence on the investigating body. Number two, the case would have been under the purview of the central government largely and the Central Bureau of Investigation in the atmosphere of an ongoing exchange between the center and state over the use of Enforcement Directorate and CBI in cases which have political connections. So that's the political relief for the Chief Minister. And it is, as I just mentioned, an endorsement of the faith in the Lokayukta by the High Court of Karnataka as far as this probe is concerned. Parallelly, remember, Osama, there is another case in the High Court of Karnataka, which is Siddaramaiah's petition challenging the earlier High Court order granting permission to investigate him itself in that case. That would be perhaps, some observers would argue, the more crucial case as far as this Muda controversy is concerned.
Right. Veera, having said that, what can be the impact on the investigation now, and how will the Karnataka High Court's decision affect the ongoing investigation in this particular case, and what are the next steps for the Lokayukta now?
Absolutely no impact on the investigation per se. The investigation remains exactly conducted by the same body that was already investigating the matter, and that's what this judgment reiterates, a status quo in terms of the investigation per se, in terms of the agency that would investigate the matter. Had it gone another way, it could have impacted the investigation. There could have been many further questions, procedural issues, as well as other issues that came up. But for the moment, the High Court categorically reiterating the investigation would be continued by the Lokayukta. The Lokayukta has investigated several witnesses. We still do not know for certainty what the Lokayukta had submitted in its status report before the High Court. The Lokayukta will now have to go further, perhaps question all the witnesses, all those involved in that case. And there would be, remember, constant scrutiny of the investigations by the Lokayukta. There will be questions raised about every turn, every step that was taken by the Lokayukta. So there is constant political attention and the attention of those who brought this case before the court on the Lokayukta and its functioning. So that process would play out under that scrutiny. But for the moment, it's reprieve for the Chief Minister politically that the case remains within the state and not goes to the CBI. And more importantly, an endorsement that the Lokayukta has been on the right track as far as these investigations are concerned.
Absolutely. And in fact, as far as Snehmayi Krishna, the petitioner's next move is concerned, can we expect Snehmayi Krishna to appeal this decision? And what can be the grounds for the potential appeal?
any decision can be appealed before a higher bench, and then, of course, till the apex court takes a call on it. So we don't know what their legal course will be. But one gets a sense that the aim of moving this case is to keep scrutiny, keep attention on this matter. And remember, the question of the Lokayukta has been raised politically by the BJP as well, saying that the Lokayukta is under the influence of the state government. So the aim of the petitioner and perhaps the political opposition in the state of Karnataka would be to keep the pressure up as far as this case is concerned, to ensure that every step is taken by the investigators for a thorough and clear probe in that matter. So that would be the objective of the petitioner. We don't know how it will play out. And as I told you, this may not be the last time we are hearing of this. Every time there could be some kind of questions or controversy raised, there could be another case that could come up in terms of how to move forward. But for the moment, the High Court, after hearing all sides, remember the petitioner's arguments was that IAS officers had done a surprise visit on the Lokayukta, and that the Lokayukta was under the control of the state government, for which the Siddaramaiah's counsel had argued, saying that if that's the argument made about the Lokayukta, a similar argument can be made about the CBI as well.